When you hear the words, "I want an open marriage," coming from the person you vowed to share your life with, it feels like your whole world shifts in an instant. Shock, confusion, hurt, and fear flood your mind. You question everything: your love, your commitment, even your own worth. How did you get here? What does this mean for your future? You never imagined this moment, yet now you must face it head on. This isn't just a simple conversation. It's a profound challenge to the foundation of your relationship and your understanding of love. The emotions are raw and complicated. You might feel betrayed, unsure if your feelings matter or if your needs will be honored. You might wonder if this request signals the end or the start of something new, something unknown. In moments like these, it can be hard to find clarity. But philosophy has long grappled with questions of freedom, love, and authenticity, and no thinker challenged these ideas more deeply than Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche teaches us that life is not about following inherited rules or living according to other people's expectations. It's about embracing the freedom to create your own values, to be true to yourself, even when that truth disrupts the comfortable norms you once took for granted. Nietzsche was a 19th century philosopher who dared to question the values and morals that society holds sacred. He challenged the conventional ideas of good and evil, tradition and conformity, urging people to embrace their individuality, their desires, and the creation of their own values. His philosophy revolves around the concept of freedom, not just the freedom to act, but the freedom to be authentic, to live according to one's true self, and to exercise what he called the will to power, the fundamental drive to grow, overcome, and assert one's existence. In the context of your husband's request for an open marriage, Nietzsche's insights offer a lens through which to understand the complex emotions at play and to consider your own path forward. What does it mean to be free in love? How do you reconcile desire, loyalty, and authenticity? And how can you create your own values rather than merely adhering to societal expectations? First, it is crucial to acknowledge your feelings. An open marriage is a radical departure from traditional monogamy. It can evoke deep fears: fear of abandonment, fear of inadequacy, fear of losing the person you love. These emotions are valid and deserve recognition. Nietzsche himself was no stranger to struggle and inner conflict. His philosophy doesn't promise easy answers or comfort, but it does encourage us to face reality head-on, to look into the abyss and define what matters most to us. Nietzsche would urge you to examine the cultural and social narratives that shape your beliefs about marriage and fidelity. Much of what we assume about love is inherited, passed down through religion, family, and social norms. These inherited values can become a prison, limiting our freedom to live authentically. He famously proclaimed the death of God, a metaphor for the collapse of absolute moral frameworks. Without these absolutes, we must become creators of our own values. This is where the idea of authenticity enters. An authentic life, according to Nietzsche, is one in which you don't simply follow rules imposed by others, but instead you reflect deeply on what you truly desire, what makes you feel alive, and what kind of relationship aligns with your essence. If your husband's request pushes you to question your assumptions about marriage, that discomfort might be the very catalyst for your growth. Nietzsche's will to power is often misunderstood. It is not about domination over others, but rather about the creative force within us that seeks to affirm life, to express our individuality, and to overcome challenges. In this situation, the will to power might manifest as the courage to confront difficult questions. What do I really want? What boundaries am I willing to set? What does love mean for me beyond conventional definitions? Accepting or rejecting an open marriage is a deeply personal decision. Nietzsche would caution against simply conforming to what others expect or what society deems right. Instead, he would encourage you to make a conscious choice grounded in your own values and self-understanding. This is empowerment. 2. Live as a free spirit, as he called it, means taking responsibility for your choices and embracing the uncertainty that comes with forging your own path. At the same time, Nietzsche recognized that human beings are social creatures. Relationships involve negotiation, compromise, and vulnerability. The concept of an open marriage doesn't eliminate these challenges. It transforms them. Communication becomes paramount. Clear, honest dialogue about desires, fears, and limits is essential for navigating such a complex arrangement. Nietzsche's philosophy does not provide a blueprint for how to do this, but it reminds us that growth comes through struggle and self-overcoming. You may find yourself wrestling with jealousy, insecurity, or confusion. These emotions are not signs of weakness, but signals that point to areas where healing or understanding is needed. Nietzsche's idea of the Übermensch, or overman, represents an ideal of human development, someone who transcends conventional morality, embraces life's hardships, and creates meaning from chaos. While this might seem lofty, it is a powerful image to hold on to as you work through your feelings. Consider too the question of whether the request for an open marriage reveals something about your husband's own struggle for authenticity. Nietzsche emphasized the importance of self-overcoming and warned against living a life that is dishonest or inauthentic. If your husband feels constrained by traditional roles or desires to explore different forms of connection, this might be part of his own quest for meaning and freedom. This does not mean your feelings are less important. Nietzsche's philosophy is not a license to accept harm or betrayal blindly. Rather, it is an invitation to engage in a deeper examination of what love, freedom, and commitment mean for you both, individually and as a couple. In practical terms, this might mean taking time for introspection. Ask yourself, what does fidelity mean to me? What are my deal breakers? Can I imagine a form of relationship that honors both my needs and his? What fears arise, and how can I address them constructively? It might help to seek counseling or philosophical guidance to navigate this complex terrain. Nietzsche's emphasis on self-creation also encourages you to redefine your own values around love and relationships. Maybe your experience leads you to embrace a non-traditional model, or maybe it reaffirms your commitment to monogamy. Either way, the key is that your choice is an expression of your authentic self, not a passive acceptance of societal expectations or your husband's desires alone. Remember, Nietzsche's philosophy is about transformation through struggle. Facing the upheaval of your relationship request may feel like a crisis, but it is also an opportunity. You have the chance to reinvent your understanding of love, to deepen your self-awareness, and to emerge stronger and more aligned with who you truly are. In conclusion, when your husband asks for an open marriage, Nietzsche's wisdom challenges you to embrace freedom, authenticity, and self-overcoming. It's not about simply saying yes or no, but about engaging with the profound questions this request raises. Who are you beyond tradition? What values will you create for yourself? How will you exercise your will to power to live fully and courageously? This is your moment to decide, not just the future of your marriage, but the future of your life as an empowered, authentic individual. Nietzsche would say, "Become who you are, boldly and unapologetically,